Rolling down the boulevard in the speedboat Corvette, like a tail on a tornado ring to promise soaked in sweat. One hand on the glass pipe, the other on the wheel. Devil riding shotgun, singing, boy, let's make a deal.
This is Groundless, a Justified podcast. This is a podcast where we watch every episode of Justified and then come on here and talk about it. I'm Chris. That man is Randy.
Let's try this again. Choo-Choo. Choo-Choo.
Like a train?
Choo-Choo's what they called me when I was in Iraq.
Because they hit you hard and fast, like a train.
Yeah, like a train.
Like a train. And we are here to talk about Season 6, Episode 2 of Justified, the Choo-Choo episode, an episode called Cash Game. This episode originally aired January 27th, 2015. And our synopsis, Raylan sets out to find out more about the mysterious group buying up land in Harlan. Boyd tries to make a profit off the ledger from the bank heist. And Ava is stuck in the middle of everything. And I think that's a fair description. It forgets to mention that we get to meet Avery Markham as well, which, you know, is relatively notable kind of event in this episode. But
I think Ava did a good job in this episode.
She does. Ava does a great. And the end of the episode with Ava is so kind of powerful because you can see that she's like not really pleased about the thing that she's about to do. So written by this week Dave Andrin and VJ Boyd. We know those guys. They've written a lot of episodes, so this is again one of those episodes written by more than one person. Directed by Dean Pariseau. He's usually good for one episode a season as well. And guest stars this week, we'll just get right to it. Avery Markham, Sam Elliott, the man, the myth, the legend. He's been in everything. You've seen him in everything. Chances are you haven't seen him a whole lot without that mustache, though, and looking like a weird turtle like he does in Justified. It's very disconcerting, I have to say, to have seen him in this show without the mustache. I was like, whoa, that's weird.
Well, he has such a big there's such a big space between the bottom of his nose and the opening of his mouth, so that mustache really it hides it, or it makes it look like it just he looks unnatural.
It looks a little weird. I don't, again, it's the thing where you don't know if it's like you're a baby and you see your dad for the first time after he shaves his beard and you don't recognize him, or if it's like it does actually legitimately objectively look weird, but either way it looks a little weird. So
yeah, the whole thing with him is that also he needs a Stetson also. I mean, I guess he can wear a Stetson like better even than Raylan.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, that is a good-looking man also, and it's almost not fair how many good-looking men there are in these episodes. But what do we know Sam Elliott from? Well, we know him from Family Guy. He's now the mayor after Adam West passed away. He took over as the mayor on Family Guy. He's in 1883, which is a Yellowstone spinoff. I haven't watched Yellowstone yet, and so I definitely haven't watched 1883 yet, but I'm looking forward to it when I do. He was in the 2018 Star is Born with Lady Gaga. He's in a movie that I really, really enjoyed called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a story about a man who killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot. So check that out. It's definitely he basically hauls the entire movie. So it's quite something to see Sam Elliott do that. A few other things.
It's definitely not a documentary because we all know Hitler made it to Argentina.
That's right. That's right.
So, just saying.
And then the Mossad got him once he got there.
Yeah. They sent the Nazi hunters out to Argentina or whatever.
So yeah, and then a few other things he's been in: Parks and Recreation, The Golden Compass, Tombstone, of course,
Classic.
Gettysburg, Roadhouse,
Classic.
Mask, the movie with Cher about loosely based on the Elephant Man. That's
right.
yeah. And then Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He had a bit part in that movie, if you can believe that. But my personal favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time, actually one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, The Big Lebowski. He plays the stranger, and he's fantastic in it, and he narrates a little bit of it. So yeah. So that's Sam Elliott, who plays Avery Markham. We also have Brad Leland, who is Calhoun Schreier. And you've probably seen him before, especially if you watched Friday Night Lights, because he was in Friday Night Lights a lot. 73 episodes of Friday Night Lights. But also he's in the new miniseries on Max called Love and Death with Elizabeth Olsen and Meth Damon. I can't remember. I can never remember that guy's name. I just call him Meth Damon because he was in Breaking Bad, and he looks a little bit like Matt Damon got stung by 1,000 bees. You know the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's married to what's her name? Oh shoot, I can't. Anyway, he's married to a famous blonde actress. I can't remember her name. She was in. Yeah, they were in. But also, he was in Brad Leland was also in The Last of Us, Deepwater Horizon, the movie about the oil rig that exploded off the Gulf Coast. He was in Veep, which is a fabulous show if you haven't seen it. The Leftovers. Now, that's a show we haven't. I don't know if have we talked about The Leftovers on this podcast before? I don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
Have you watched? Did you watch The Leftovers?
I don't even remember that.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So The Leftovers is a show that was on HBO for 3 seasons. And the premise of the show is that one day something like 1.8% of the world's population vanishes. Just gone. Just disappears from the face of the earth. And everybody else is left behind. And so they call it The Leftovers because it's about the people who are left. And no one knows what happened. No one ever figures out exactly what happened. But it's a show about what life becomes like for these people who are left. And it's really, really good. It's really, really good. And it's really a bummer. It's hard. It's a hard watch, but it is an absolutely fantastic show. Carrie Coon is in it. She's wonderful. In every moment she's in that show, she plays a character whose husband and 2 children both disappeared on that day. And again, less than 2% of the Earth's population disappeared, and she lost the other 3 members of her family. So you think about kind of the odds of that, and it's really, really good. And yeah. So he was in that. He was in a couple episodes of that. Walker, Texas Ranger. He was in 7 episodes of that as a recurring character. So Brad Leland, he's been in some stuff, and you probably recognized him as the crooked real estate agent Calhoun Schreier. I do love that Justified just straight up doubles down on all real estate agents being crooked, like after Gary.
Well, who's to say they're not?
No, I look. I'm not going to say realtors are crooked because that might be slanderous, but but I might say that all real estate agents are.
The thing with Friday Night Lights is I think the casting was so well done in that. Did you ever watch that show, Friday Night Lights?
I did not. It's on my list. You're not the only person who's been telling me I need to watch it. So
it's I don't know, because I've spent a lot of time in Texas lately, and I don't know, it's really well done as far as like the casting and stuff. It's good, and he the character he plays on that show is so it really is. It's just
feels very true to life.
It's very true to life. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's if you get a chance to watch that show, Friday Night Lights, it's fantastic.
Yep, that's what I hear. So it's definitely on my list of shows to watch. I just it's behind a bunch of other stuff. I know it's hard. I need to spend a lot more quality time with my TV apparently. Even though my doctor says I need to exercise more, so got to figure out some way to combine those. Get one of those little pedal things under my coffee table or something
to generate electricity.
Yes, exactly, to run the TV. Yeah, I can pedal that thing for 3 hours and run the TV for 4 seconds.
If you watch it on your laptop or your phone,
oh, that's true.
Just
the
proper way to do it.
Yeah, on the phone. That's how everybody watches media now, right? I was sitting here thinking to myself as I'm watching those trailers and like analyzing them on my big 32-inch monitors, 4K resolution monitors, thinking to myself, can you imagine trying to pick apart like these little sort of things like oh, look, Mansell's got a gun in his hand and blood on his face from a 6-inch phone screen or 5-inch phone screen. Like, no way.
Or even doing the sound, the sound,
I know.
Just like if you're on speakerphone or something like that, you're watching it.
How many times have I been in the airport and somebody's doing that? It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. That's how people choose to consume media. It's so weird. I'm just an old fuddy-duddy. What can I say? Well, we got one more guest star this week that I wanted to mention. It's just an honorable mention here because she's not really an actress. She's been in a few things, but not very many. Pamela Bowen plays Joyce Kipling, the bank manager. And the only reason I'm mentioning her, I normally wouldn't mention a kind of a one-off disposable character like this, but I thought it was interesting because she was in the movie Detroit Rock City, which is the movie about the kids who want to go to the Kiss concert. Mm-hmm. And the reason she was in that movie is because she was actually married to Paul Stanley from Kiss from 1992 to 2001. So Joyce Kipling, or I'm sorry, Pamela Bowen, the actress, was married to Paul Stanley for 9 years.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which explains why, she was in that movie. And then she gets cast in this. I'm assuming somebody on the staff is a Kiss fan. That's got to be how she got cast in this. Because otherwise she's barely done anything else as far as acting goes. She's done, a few things here and there that I've never heard of. So no offense to Pamela, if you're a listener, you did a fantastic job in these episodes of Justified, but I just haven't seen the other stuff that you were in. So, all right. Well, that gets us through.
She's a little bit too hot for being a bank manager. So
in Harlan,
in Harlan County,
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And you can see why she was married to Paul Stanley. I mean, you think about, when she was, this would have been filmed in 2015. So, or I'm sorry, in 2014, it would have been filmed. So she would have been 22 years younger in 1992 when she married Paul Stanley. And some of the photos I saw at the time, she was a fox, stone cold fox. So definitely a woman who could marry a rock star. So, all right. Well, that gets us through our episode basics, which means it's time to take a quick trip back to the week of January 27th, 2015 and see what was going on in pulp hero culture.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
We did. And just a quick look this week, we have American Sniper #1 at the box office for its 6th week. It's its 6th week in the box office, total of $217 million. There's a new movie, The Boy Next Door. I don't know if you saw that. It's I didn't see it. I've heard of it. It's about like a woman who has an affair, I think, with the kid who lives next door. It's Jennifer Lopez, isn't it?
Oh, jeez.
She's the main character, but also like Kristen Chenoweth is in it too. And I don't recognize the guy who's in it from anything. I think he was in like Heroes, the new series of Heroes or something like that. But yeah, so The Boy Next Door, it grossed $18 million, which is pretty good for for a movie that nobody really watched. So